welcome to IDW Deuce. In this journal entry, we're going to do something a little different. I mean, normally we talk about motivation, mindset, we talk about business. Mainly, this channel is about my journey to financial freedom through entrepreneurship. But on the other side of that, I love to travel. It's one of the main reasons why I do what I do, or why I want to be financially free, because I want to travel. So in this iteration, I've come up with something called IDW Deuce Go, which is just me being out and about, traveling different countries, different cities in this country, and just having a good time, because it's not all about work. It's not all about the grind. It's not all about the hustle. I like to have fun too. So I'm going to show you, what I do to have fun. And in this particular episode, I'm going to talk about a trip I just recently took to Turks and Caicos. My wife actually surprised me with it. It was for my graduation. I just graduated college, got my bachelor's degree, and also I just recently retired from the military. If you follow the channel, then you've seen previous episodes where I've spoke about my military journey, also me going to school and getting my degree. And she decided to bless me with the trip. It was a surprise. I didn't know where I was going until probably a couple weeks earlier, but that wasn't the end of the surprises. The day of the actual trip, we dropped the kids off and we headed to the airport. We flew out of Philadelphia, and lo and behold, my best friend and his wife were sitting there waiting for us. So they were going on the trip with us, and it just made the trip that much more better, because like I said, that's my best friend. He was my best man at my wedding. I've known him for over 2 decades. We met in high school, and his wife is like a sister to both me and my wife. Like, we've grown very close. This isn't the first trip we've taken together. Those are like our road dogs. We know if we go somewhere with them, we're gonna have a good time. And this didn't disappoint either. We had a ball. So we flew out of Philadelphia. We arrived at Turks and Caicos Airport. Now, we arrived around 12 o'clock. That's a good time to get there. You want to try to get there early. It gets packed, and it gets packed quick because it's a very small airport. This is probably one of the smallest airports I've actually ever been to. Now, where you arrive at is not very far from where you'll be departing at, so it's pretty packed. And we got there. We went through customs where they check your passport, make sure you're good to go. And as soon as you get past that part, baggage claim is right there. There's only one place for you to collect your bags, and everybody's going there. So if you can imagine, if it's a lot of people arriving there at that time, and there's 2 or 3 other flights there, then there's going to be a lot of bags, and there's going to be a lot of chaos. We got lucky. There was probably maybe just one other flight besides us arriving there at that time. So we got our bags fairly quickly. Now, there are options at that airport for something called a fast track. It's about, I want to say it runs between 100 to 150 per person to just expedite you through the airport. But like I said, we got there at a good time, so we didn't really have to do all of that. We went, grabbed our bags. As soon as we went and grabbed our bags, we went through the other portion of customs, where you declare if you're bringing anything into the country before you even get off the plane, to have you fill out the paperwork. So if you do that and you go there, present them with the paperwork, you can get through that quickly as well. And we did that. And there was other surprise to the trip. All this time, like every time me and my wife go somewhere, we normally go to an all-inclusive resort, because you think it's going to be a cost-saving type of thing. You go there, the food's included, the alcohol's included, you're right there on the beach normally, so you think you're getting a package deal. And in this case, we didn't end up going to an all-inclusive resort. We actually had our own villa. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, how was a villa cost saving over all-inclusive, where your drinks and your alcohol, your drinks and your food are going to be included? Well, I'm going to get to that. Well, first, me and my man, we stopped at the duty free in Philadelphia, and we got a couple bottles. Mind you, I still didn't know that we weren't going to a resort, but I like to collect certain alcohol. Like, I'm a big whiskey bourbon drinker, so when we went there, they had like Blanton's. If you don't know about Blanton's, if you're a whiskey drinker and you don't know about Blanton's, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's one of the smoothest whiskeys I've ever had in my life. But I digress. We collected our bottles, which came in handy because, like I said, we didn't go into an all-inclusive. We had our own villa. But back to the airport. After we got our bags, my wife actually rented a car. We had a Jeep Wrangler, one of those like hard tops where you can take the top off. To be on an island with a drop top Jeep, that's actually pretty dope. We actually went to Grace Bay Rentals. It's right outside the airport. You do have to hike up it's a steep hill. I mean, but it's really not that bad. It's like 5 minutes, you'll be right there. It didn't take too long. We packed up, rolled out from the airport. I want to say it was about probably a 20-minute drive to our villa. And this villa was dope. Like, I've got video of it, so you're gonna see it. It's a 2-bedroom villa, upstairs, downstairs, full kitchen, living room, dining room. It has a deck with its own pool. On the second floor, the 2 bedrooms, you each have your own bathrooms, and it has an adjoining balcony. So we chilled out there. At night, if we didn't feel like going down, chilling by the pool, we just chilled out on the balcony, just looking at the palm trees and enjoying a cigar and having a drink. I mean, it was really beautiful. It was actually an Airbnb. I'll go ahead and have the link in the comments so you can actually check it out for yourself. It's a beautiful property. The pool, very clean. Everything was clean. The host was very hospitable. If we had any questions, he answered them. I mean, not just about the property, about the island, period. Like, he gave us suggestions on certain places. So he's a real good guy. I definitely recommend you checking out his place. He has everything for you. Like, we weren't staying right on the beach, but he had like beach chairs for us. He had coolers for us, like all that stuff available for us to use because we were at his Airbnb. So that was actually pretty dope, and it saved us a lot of money. Also, one thing I will tell you about Turks and Caicos, it is expensive. Now, the Airbnb we stayed at, it was about, I want to say about $2,500 for the week for all 4 of us, versus staying at an all-inclusive. Normally we'd be on the beach, so if we wanted to stay somewhere like that, it was going to cost us probably about $3,000 per person for that same amount of time that we were at that all-inclusive. That only cost us about, I want to say $2,700 for the week. That's pretty dope. Also, the one thing with not being at an all-inclusive is you have to cook your own meals. And if you got to cook your own meals, then what do? You got to go to the grocery store. And that also is super expensive. Like, just imagine you're going there, you want to get some milk. Ordinarily here in the United States, even with inflation, probably $3, $4 for milk. You think about $8 down in Turks and Caicos. Like, it's that serious. Like, it's bananas. You probably spent like another like $300-400 on groceries. Now, they do have alcohol in the grocery stores, but they do not sell alcohol on Sundays. So if you get there on a Sunday, just know you're not going to get anything. So if you can, grab something from the duty free before you actually arrive. So if you want to have a drink and you're not staying at an all-inclusive, you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you still want to get the all-inclusive experience while you're there, but you don't want to actually stay at an all-inclusive, they do have day passes. They have a package where you can actually utilize all their services, like their excursions, their restaurants, their bars, and you just spend $150 a day and you'll be able to access everything they have on their resort. But if you don't, you can check out my man Ainsley. He's at the Price is Right ATVs. Check out his IG page. He has ATVs for you, obviously. He has jet skis, and he also does tours. He's also another good dude. If you want to talk to, he'll give you the lay of the land, let you know what's going on the island. Very reasonable prices. He'll work with you. Back to the expensiveness of Turks and Caicos. My wife is awesome. I call her my travel agent, and she plans our trips and she makes sure that we get the best bang for our buck. And she knew that the groceries were going to be super expensive, so she actually packed like a lot of the stuff that we eat, like bacon or anything that we could freeze and package and secure it in our luggage. we brought with us. Like we did have a couple bottles of wine, a couple bottles of alcohol before we even went to the airport, just because even if you are going into an all-inclusive, they may not have what you particularly want to drink. So you don't want to be stuck not having what you want, and you're on vacation, you have to settle for something you may not like. So we packed our own stuff. So we had alcohol, we had food. She made sure that everything was covered. Even the beaches, she had to run down on all the beaches. Now, we didn't go to all the beaches there. We went to Sapodilla Bay Beach, we went to Grace Bay Beach, and we went to Bright Beach. We didn't stay at Bright Beach too long. That was just where we were picked up for one of the excursions we did take. We went on a boat tour to Iguana Island, and we went scuba diving. Well, I went scuba diving. They stayed on the boat and had drinks. Now, the thing with the beaches, now, Turks and Caicos is a great place if you want to bring kids, if you can afford to bring your kids, because like I said, it's very expensive. While we were boarding the plane and when we got to the actual airport, we were wondering, like, why are there so many kids here? It's like, who's actually going to spend all this money to bring their kids to this island? And when you get there, you'll understand this is very kid friendly, and especially some of the beaches. The first beach we went to was Sapodilla Bay Beach. The thing about Sapodilla Bay Beach is the water is very low. It's beautiful. The water on the entire island is beautiful. It's turquoise, and of course you can see right through. You can see the bottom of it. The sand is like, it's not like regular sand. It's very fine. It's like clay, very soft. You can bring your kids out there and you could walk out there, I want to say maybe not 100 yards, but at least 50 yards before it even gets above your waist. So you can have kids playing in the water, and it's not deep. There's no waves, very calm on this particular beach. And the other thing about Sapodilla Beach is it's the only one that has vendors on the beach, like food, music, and drinks. So all the other beaches are real quiet. There's no entertainment there. They may have vendors, but they're mainly connected with the actual resorts that are on those beaches. Sapodilla Bay Beach is the only one that actually has, like I said, music and like any type of entertainment. That's where we actually ran into, Jerome at Conky Conk. I shot a video with him, running down his business. He hooked us up. Food was outstanding. As soon as you come up to the beach, he's the first vendor on your right. He has jet skis. He has tours as well, but his main thing is food. He's also a private chef, so you can link up with him if you want to get the rundown on his private chef business. Like, say you want to get a villa, you don't want to go anywhere, you can just have him go to your crib and cook everything for you. Our experience was awesome. We ordered our food. He actually brought the food to us on the beach, so we didn't have to go back and forth to order it and pick it up. He brought it to us, which I felt was real dope, because you don't really get that too much unless you're staying at a resort where they have wait staff. He didn't have wait staff. It was just him and one of his people. So it's a perfect place where you bring kids. The one thing I will say, just like any other island, make sure you got your sunblock, because the first day I did not wear my sunblock and I was completely burnt by the time we left that beach, but we were having such a good time, and the drinks that Jerome gave us were pretty strong, so I didn't even notice that my skin was burning. But that's Sapodilla Beach. Grace Bay Beach, that's a different story. Now, the water is the total opposite of Sapodilla Bay Beach. Kids aren't really going in that water because those waves are rough. Like, if you don't know how to swim, I would not recommend going in it, because the undercurrent will get you. A couple times I was trying to be cool and sit down, like take poses with the phone, try to take selfies, and the water just caught me, brought me in. I was like, wow. We ended up just leaving after we, I believe after we ate. I mean, we still had a good time. It's just a different vibe. It's just a different vibe. The other beach, Bright Beach, like I said, we didn't stay there that long. It was just pretty much our extraction point where we went and got on the boat. Most of the beaches there are pretty quiet, and that's kind of the gist of it. That's what they want. They want you to be able to relax. You have your pick. If you want more entertainment, you want a more lively area, then you go to Sapodilla Bay Beach. Everywhere is Sapodilla Bay Beach. Anywhere else, I mean, it's just relax, chill, just sit back, have a drink, and watch the water, Now the food, when we went to go check out my man Ainsley, we noticed like a kind of like a food truck. We had just kind of got there. We wanted to go see him real quick, make our reservations for what we wanted to do. And then on the way back, we stopped at the food truck, and we weren't really trying to go to a restaurant, nothing like that. And we didn't know any other place, so we decided to stop there. The food looked good and we saw people were going there, so we're like, okay, this can't be that bad. We got a fried snapper, like they have the filet, which obviously is boneless, and then they had the whole snapper. We had like fish tacos and all that stuff. Like I said, the food is expensive. The food was amazing, but they will mess up your order. Like if you're one of those people like me, sometimes if I'm ordering food, like I'll just go and grab the bag and be out. Just trust that everything's good to go. Nah, you don't want to do that with this place. You want to make sure you got what you ordered, because not only will they forget stuff, they'll throw stuff in there that you didn't even order. Like they'll charge you the same, but it's like a surprise bag. You never know what you're going to get. And ordinarily that'd be like a deal breaker. Like we'll eat the food and like, we're not never going back to that place again. We've actually said that we're not going back to that place, but then we're like, that fish, that chicken was rocking, and it really was. So guess what? We ended up going back to the place, but we made sure that they got our order right the next time, or the next few times, because we went there quite often. And yes, like I said, we did cook, but the food was just that good. We had reservations at one of their top restaurants on the island, and we ended up canceling because we just like the food that he had there. And that's just a testament that his food was really that good. We got to just take the food, go back to the crib where we could relax poolside and not have to worry about it. And that's what we did. We really chilled at the villa, ate our food, and just relaxed, drank, and had a good time and enjoyed each other's company. But if you do want to go out, the villa we stayed at was actually right around the corner from one of the top restaurants that's on the island, which is Coco Bistro. Now Coco Bistro not only has their main restaurant, they also have a van, like a food truck. And Infinity was the restaurant that we had reservations at that we actually canceled in lieu of the grill from Sapodilla Bay Beach, Conky. But Infinity was the restaurant. It's a dope restaurant. The vibes just look amazing from the pictures, but we didn't even end up going. That's another good thing about having your own villa, because if you've ever been to an all-inclusive, you know that there are times that the restaurants are open. There's times restaurants are closed. Like you have to go to certain ones for breakfast, certain ones for lunch, certain ones for dinner. They may have other places like food trucks on the compound, but it's usually regulated by some type of time. Same thing with the drinks. Certain bars are open, certain bars aren't. When you have your own spot, you don't have to worry about any of that. If you don't want to see anybody, you don't have to see anybody. You can just chill by yourself and do what you want to do. We actually did go to Conch Shack. I mean, it's supposed to be like one of the top places. Like, of course, it's like a tourist spot. I mean, I like the food there. But I felt that just the reviews that everybody was saying, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Don't get me wrong, it's a good restaurant, but for the lore that you're given, like the way people speak about it, I could have just as easily just went to the food truck that we went to on the first day, or hollered at my man Rome on Sapodilla Bay Beach. Now, the one excursion we did go on was we went with Island Vibe Tours. We actually ended up having to postpone it because we were supposed to go out on a Wednesday, but it was thunder and rain, and obviously they're not going to take you out on the water in that condition, so we ended up having to postpone it for the next day. We called their headquarters, which is actually located in New York City, so we talked to, I believe his name was Vincent. He's one of the owners. He runs it with his family who are actually on the island, but we got a hold of Vincent back in New York City to see what we could do. I mean, he was able to postpone it at no charge. He was an awesome guy, made us feel very comfortable. He said, if we can't make this happen, we will refund your money. I mean, but we're gonna make sure you get out in the water, and that's exactly what happened. The next day we ended up going. He picked us up from Bright Beach. Our captain His name was I believe it's John Beckford. I got his IG, so I'll go ahead and leave that link as well. He took us out on the boat. We had to stop at a few places to pick up other people that were staying at resorts along the beach. He went along the coast. He brought us out to a certain spot where it was right by the coral reef, where I went scuba diving. I got to see some sea turtles. Now the dope thing was I saw some sea turtles that actually had feeder sharks on their backs, and in a couple of cases there was a feeder shark at the bottom of the sea turtle, just traveling along with them. I guess assuming just eating the things that the sea turtle brought up. It's actually a pretty cool experience. After scuba diving, they brought us out to Iguana Beach. It's exactly as it sounds. It's pretty dope. Well, I'm sorry, it's Iguana Island. He docked us there. We got off. We walked around. There are iguanas on the island, i.e. the name is called Iguana Island. I mean, it was real cool, man. The scenery was just amazing. After Iguana Island, he took us out to Noah's Ark. It's actually pretty dope. It's a bar sitting out there in the ocean that you cannot get to unless you have a boat or you're on the jet ski. It's pretty cool. We docked out there, played music. Obviously, they had free drinks on the boat. I did something pretty cool that I never thought I'd do. He has a slide and a diving board. So you go up onto the top deck, which has a seating area. Nice, I can't remember what they call, kind of like loft seating. It's pretty dope. And I dove off the diving board into the ocean. I'll put the video up where you see me jumping into the water, and then you see quickly to the right, you just see somebody jumping into water and just sinking. I mean, it was hilarious. After that, it was pretty much it. He brought us out, and we went back pretty much the same route that we came along the coast, so we could see a lot of the houses that some celebrities go to when they go to the island, like huge, beautiful houses right there on the beach that are like kind of isolated, so it's not too easy to get to. Like it's a real dope spot, man. A lot of people go there. He said Drake, Rick Ross, Mary J. Blige, like a lot of celebrities go down there just to chill out, and those particular houses are the ones that they usually go to. Yeah, it was an awesome experience. Again, that was Island Vibe Tours. I got the link to that IG, and also our captain's IG. He was a real good guy. It was very safe, make us feel very comfortable on the water. I definitely recommend them, and I definitely, if I ever went back, I'd definitely check them out and go out again. The last day, heading to the airport, you want to make sure you get there in a good amount of time. Depending on what time you leave, we left, I want to say it's probably around midday, probably about 2 if I'm not mistaken, so we didn't get there too late. So the airport was packed. It was absolutely packed. They had another surprise for me. Instead of going straight home, flying back to Philadelphia, we had a layover in Miami. Now, instead of obviously just having a short layover, it was a long layover, so we ended up getting a room, and we had to have our bags. So we had to get our bags and bring them to the hotel, and we stayed in Miami for the night, had a good time, had a nice dinner. I believe the place we ate at was Maxine's. They have a good reputation, and it's well deserved because the food was amazing. Like everything we had was good. Like I have absolutely no complaints. So us staying in Miami, that food right there, it was dope. The other thing I will say is, you think if you get something from the duty free, that is automatically going to clear when you go back into the US. That is not the case. I bought a bottle of their rum cream. Obviously, you can see that this bottle is dark. You can't see in it. And if you do a lot of traveling, you come back with bottles, you have to get your bag scanned when you go in there anyway. So when they scanned it, they saw the bottle, they saw it was dark, they couldn't see within it. So they were gonna take my bottle. I think I paid like $40 for this bottle. And I'm like, so you're just gonna take my bottle? But like, I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. It's like, well, you could check it. Well, luckily, me and my wife both had bags, so we were able to check it. I mean, it cost me another $40. So in all honesty, this is a $80 bottle of the rum cream. But I'll be dead if I was just gonna sit there and let them take the bottle and probably take it home and drink it themselves. Like, it's not gonna happen. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, it was an awesome trip. I'm glad my wife surprised me with the trip, and we were able to go out and get away with friends and we went a different route than we normally do. We normally do all inclusive when we did the private villa, and I felt that that was like 10 times better, honestly. So it's just another option. It was a good way to save money, like, cause also, I mean, I do this, I shoot videos, so, and this is kind of tied into my business because I also do real estate. I have a vending machine business. So this is a form of advertisement for those businesses. So I can actually use these videos that I shot down there as a tax write-off, because honestly, this is to promote my business. So you have to think about it that way. Like, even though this was a vacation for the most part, I also made sure that I took care of certain things so I can claim a part of the trip as a business expense, because that's what it is. This portion is IDW Dues Gold, where I talk about my travels. Where have you gone? Like, what have you done? Do you have any trips that you've recently taken? Were you able to save any type of money? Do you have any tips you'd like to share? Like, I'd definitely love to hear it. Let's start a dialogue. That's pretty much it for this journal entry, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.